and good morning, everybody. So there have been a lot of eminent speakers speaking before me, and over the last 2 or 3 hours that I've been listening to them, what I've realized is I really need to go back to education. So that's been the learning all the while, but I am today an industry speaker, so I will speak to you a little bit. I am from a company called AgreeYa Mobility, and we have this product called Microsoft Envelope, and Mobilia Envelope, which runs on the Microsoft platform, and I will be talking about how this takes us with technology and enhances pedagogy. So just a small brief on AgreeYa Mobility. We are a very young company. 2011 we were formed, just 350 plus people, and global offices in 5 places across the world, with the largest development center out of Pune. And we've got a large number of global customers, including, and we are basically a technology company. We work on mobile, tablet and cloud software engineering. I'll not spend too much of time on the company and come on to the topic of the day, that is using technology for education, especially pedagogy. So fundamentally, everybody, all of you have often a number of times defined pedagogy. So certainly we all agree pedagogy has matured over hundreds of years and continues to evolve, right? Over the time, as times have changed, the means of how the teacher teaches and imparts education to the student has been changing over the time and evolving. And come what may, for a number of years, maybe a few centuries more, the chalk and blackboard teaching methodologies are proven methods and certainly would continue. There's no doubt about that. However, technology is also at the cusp of adding a new dimension to the complete art and science of teaching. Pedagogy, as somebody defined a little while ago, the art and science of teaching, and technology certainly is going to add a new dimension to it. However, what we need to beware of is that technology needs to be adopted selectively and optimally. And again, some of you said that a little while ago, we need not adopt each and everything, but be very selective about it. We need to take the best from the existing practices, choose the right technology and take it ahead. So with that as a background, technology and especially IT has been coming into the pedagogy in a number of ways. So so what we've been seeing in education is that there have been ERP systems that have come onto the education system. There has been digital content. People have spoken about MOOC. There has been the smart class, and there has been the learning management system, and maybe a few more, right? So, however, whenever we talk about technology and education, what is there for pedagogy? Why I ask this question is, what is there for the teacher to communicate his learning better to the student, and the student to get back to the teacher? How is technology assisting in that? Certainly not in the ERP. Digital content partly. Maybe MOOC, almost the teacher disappears. The teacher is actually not physically there. He's almost virtual most of the time. In a smart class, most of the time again the teacher goes back and there is a smart class, a video or an animation that's going on, unless the teacher really gets up and actually starts interacting with the student when the smart class is going on, which very often has been seen in schools, has not been happening. In learning management system, yes, there has been an interaction, but how often does the teacher actually interact with the student using a learning management system? I think the percentage is very low. So with that, what we thought, that's how Envelope is targeted. What Envelope is targeting at is increasing the learning by collaboration and communication between the student and the teacher. So that is basically what we are trying to do, and now I will get you onto what Envelope is exactly. So Mobilia Envelope, our product, is a learning and collaboration management software platform. Now Envelope as such, it runs on Microsoft as a platform, and along with that, but however on the client side, it runs on tablets, it runs on PCs, and the tablets could be Windows or Android, and it gives you, or it could be PCs or laptops. And what basically it gives you, so learning, how does learning go about? Obviously learning is also a workflow with that as a perception, and I'll give you some examples down the line in the next few slides. So what a develop gets you is multiple learning workflows, a personalized class experience where we are certainly not trying to change the whiteboard and the marker kind of a system. The teacher continues to teach as it is, but enhances his efficiency or her efficiency using technology. That's what we are looking at. Intuitive and seamless user experience. Come what may, whatever softwares we have used and how IINDIA has come about over the last few years, what we've been seeing is user experience is very important for the user to be able to adopt and go in for it. You know, there will be a large number of software which will have fantastic amount of functionalities, but the one that gets adopted is the one with the best user experience. So that is next. Along with that, a low cost of ownership. That is why a number of softwares are today available free. So the cost of ownership should not pinch the organization or the student or the teacher, and an easy installation and maintenance environment. It should be a kind of a hands-free, a very an approach. Although there is technology, but very few technologists should be required to manage them. So that is the basis of the complete environment that we've created and what it gets to you. So there are some of the things which you would get in a number of learning management systems, like assignments and tests are there. So I will again take you through these. Along with that, there is something called a class library. So something where all your documents can get stored and archived and be available for later use. That is the documents that have been created by the teacher. There would be something called a scorecard where all the marks will get automatically stored and in a digital format and available to you to be exported in various forms. Then there is the interactivity part. There will be events and notices which the school or college would want to put and let the teacher announce to the students as to what is going to come up next. There is a discussion board which will allow the student or teacher to put up a topic which everybody can discuss on. There would be a number of desktop utilities which would help the teacher to get on board the system much more easily. And then there is a live lecture mechanism where in case for a particular time, if a teacher is not available, he could even take a live video lecture or audio call. Along with that, there will be email, there will be messaging, there will be whiteboard, there will be screen share. So a lot of technologies put together on a single sign-on. Just one sign-on and you are able to access all these technologies together. And fundamentally, the teacher is able to enhance the pre-class and the post-class experience, at times the in-class experience too. So let's take one use case. So what happens when a workflow or when a teacher has to create say a test or an assignment? So the teacher has to first he sits down, he creates a test and assignment, then he distributes it to the class. The student undertake the tests and assignments. They submit it to the teacher manually. The teacher collects, evaluates each one of them and publishes the result. In the sense he announces the result and he has to obviously go around collating it and all that. So there is a lot of work involved here. But however, so what we've done here is, what we look at it is that certainly, gentlemen, all of you I'm sure you would agree that students today are absolutely on technology. Just if I give something like this to a student, I think he won't even take more than 15 seconds to understand as to how each one is working and what functionality it will give him, and he may just come out and give me a few suggestions straight away. The teachers, I think, obviously, so I myself have spent around 25 years in the industry, and today for me to adopt new technology takes time. So the younger teachers obviously are there, and many of the older ones are obviously coming on board. But yes, it takes a little bit of effort for us to get the teachers and professors on board, and we understand that. But so therefore, what we have tried to build here is a very intuitive UX. And UX where somebody, the moment he has a look at it, he is able to understand, okay, I need to click this next. So with that as an environment, so this is how, just a screenshot of how somebody would create a new environment. Straight away what he would have to do is maybe select the class, the subject. So I would show that to you also. And the category, decide how the assessment has to be, whether it has to be marks or a grading, what would be the maximum marks, put a description, attach documents to an assignment, and assign it either to the entire class or a selected set of students, and just click go and it goes. And along with that, all the students get a small an email saying an assignment has come to you. It may be integrated with an SMS gateway saying that an assignment has come to you and you have to complete it by so-and-so date. Similarly, another use case is when the teachers require a lot of inputs regarding reporting. So what would the teacher want to do? Maybe want to take an attendance, maybe want to see what are the test scores, the assignment scores, etc. and various other kind of reporting. For example, one kind of reporting could be pre-class. Pre-class, so before a class has to be taken, 2 days prior to that, the teacher has shared some reading material with the students and told them, listen, you read this and come and do these 5 questions. The 5 questions also is there in the system, and he assigns an assignment to the students. Now, when he comes into the class, he can straight away come to know how many students have actually opened it and how many have not. He comes, he takes the class in the regular manner as he normally takes. After class, he maybe gives another test, another assignment. In the second assignment, he groups students together. So, and he thereafter can actually easily forget about it if the assignment has multiple choice question tests, because those would get automatically evaluated and it can be picked up randomly, etc. But however, if there is a short answer to the assignment or a submission of a longer document, yes, then the teacher would get involved and have to do the complete evaluation.
This one question. Does it go up to activity monitoring on the client machines, or it's only after? It's only on your side, the teacher side. If it is logged, so it will be done, or it goes on the client.
Sir, to some extent, we can actually monitor some of the client machines. Now, it'll again depend on what technology those machines are on. So that's a slightly complex question. But suppose, for example, the students are using Android tablets, for example.
Is it inbuilt?
Or
is it inbuilt into Mobilia?
The education part is completely inbuilt into Mobilia. In addition to that, there is what you are talking about is a monitoring part. Part of the monitoring which can be handled a lot at the server end is totally inbuilt into Mobilia. There are some additional features which one can add on to this. So for example, if the students are using tablets and you want to track them or things like that, then there are additional engineering features which can come on to this, which are beyond Mobilia developed, but which could be built. So this is how the scorecard comes on develop as such. So again, a very nice graphical interface. While we try to keep the UX very user friendly, so that the teacher is able to make out straight away on the graph, is able to make out what is the class performance on tests, on assignments, whichever subject has been selected, and which class and which subject has been selected. And not only that, the students are listed out, and along with the students, I don't know if you can make out there's a green and red arrow. The green arrow upward showing that the student has improved his performance over the time, the red showing whether he's gone down or stayed at the same level. Basically what we try to do is in a glance give required information to the teacher to understand how the student is going ahead, and this itself can be exported to Excel and to other softwares if required. So if you have a running ERP and you want to export this information to an existing ERP, yes, even that could be done. Similarly, a number of manageability tools, again creating tests and notes, etc. Teacher obviously goes through a lot of effort in doing that. So what we look at in this case is that, for example, creating of a question bank. So if teacher already has a question bank, he could just use Microsoft Excel, put it there in a correct format, and it gets imported into the system. And then that question bank is available on the system to the teacher to assign it to the students whenever he wants, in a regular sequence manner or in a random manner as desired. Going on to in-class learning. So in-class learning also the teacher has to do a number of activities in his learning. For example, sharing an assignment with a particular student, evaluate another student's assignment, say help a particular student because he or she has got say certain doubts, and maybe create a timetable for next week. So all of these things we need to help the teacher manage this better and reduce his task there, so that the focus is more on the actual teaching and the actual interaction. And in addition to this, the teacher can use the various functionalities on the system to carry out this interaction. So this is the teacher's dashboard that comes in. Now I'll show you the actual dashboard after a while. So this is the actual dashboard that comes in, where the teacher straight away gets a summary of what is happening. Knowledge management, I think it's a very important issue. Off and on, some of the speakers have spoken about this. The issue here is teachers create a lot of material, and those materials stay with the teachers at times. At times the teacher leaves the organization and a new teacher comes in and has to recreate the complete material. So here what we have is a system of a class library, along with that a system where the institution can also create its, once it has created its own digital content, can archive in a way that it can be used again and again over multiple courses. So fundamentally what we are saying here is that so the moment the teacher is taking a class on a particular subject, there is a place where the folders are created as per the subjects and the documents keep getting added there. And these documents can thereafter be archived and used for the next session, whether the teacher is around or not. Now at times, yes, maybe the teacher at times is a little, I don't know whether they are often sensitive about the document that they've created and they think it is their own. But if the teacher is a part of the institution and the document belongs to the institution because the teacher was working there, then this could be useful for the institution as such. Sir, the knowledge would always belong to the teacher, but the material that is created is a call that the institution has to take whether they would like to keep it for further reference or it's entirely up to you. But there is a facility for that.
There are teachers who would like to come.
Yes. So in the sense that there is a facility available for that. Would you want that? If you would want to exploit that facility, I think it is a useful thing. So accordingly now a lot of digital content is getting created, right? And there are organizations like, so there are publishing houses who are putting a lot of their content onto the digital format. And at times you would want to integrate that. So in Enterprise we have a feature called a content store where we can integrate third-party content from other publishers, digital publishers, as well as if in the campus you have created a plethora of content which you want to organize and make it available to the students. So we have a content store for that where you could put your content or third-party content integrated together. At times the third-party content is something that you as an institution have subscribed for, that will be available. At times you say that no, we have not subscribed, but we would like this third-party content to be available to the students. If the student wants, he can maybe utilize it or procure it, maybe purchase it for that matter. So depending on the functionality that you want, it can be sort of customized accordingly. Why I again say that is, fundamentally the complete envelope software has been developed out of our Pune Development Center in India, and wherever in the various colleges we are going, so there often are requirements they are saying of small requirements of customizations, which we are doing it for them because if we see value in that customization for all colleges, firstly that is very good, and secondly if there is a way that a particular institution wants to function, so we've got our own development team out there and it helps us out in doing it in a very easy manner for that particular institution. So similarly virtual learning. Now again, we have not been saying that we want to remove the regular way of teaching, but we want to enhance it. Now at times in a number of higher learning colleges, there are visiting professors that come in. The visiting professor comes in, say in Pune, the visiting professor comes in from Bombay, teaches for 15 days, he goes off his class, his exam that he is to conduct for the students is after a month's time. In between the students have got some doubt. Most often today, I think the students have a great deal of reluctance as to should I go and approach the professor now, how do I do it, he is based out of Bombay, is he free to answer my queries or not. So in that, apart from having the email and the discussion board, etc., actually the institution can set up a virtual learning. Now this is done through Microsoft Link. So the institution can set up a virtual learning environment where the professor can take a class of up to 200 students or 250 students sitting in different parts of the country or the world for that matter, and actually attend this video lecture once more if they want to. So so once the visiting professor has gone back, the students say, listen, we've got some doubts and we really need to clarify this for another hour. Can we have another hour session? If the professor is starting somewhere, obviously we would not expect him to come back on that, but yes, certainly he can go ahead, get onto his login and take a virtual session, interact with the complete class for another hour, and that is they're done and the students have an access to it. So that's how we look at it. So fundamentally, like I said a little while ago, what we are trying to do is get the student and teacher communicate and learn better using technology. There is another proposed functionality that we have, which should be coming 2 to 3 months down the line, is called the learning path, where we would like the teacher. So the teacher wants to put in pre-class and post-class material. We would like the teacher to put the material in a particular sequence, make it available to the class. And he knows that the student gets to access the next material when he has already studied the previous one, done some assignments, goes to the next material. Certainly, we do not say that every student will take it with the same degree of seriousness at times, but I think it would help if there is material for the student to study and come, and he knows that the teacher would know if I have done this or not. He would certainly try to do it, come to class, be ready for it. After the assignment, he knows that within a click of a button, the teacher knows whether he will be able to how he has performed. I think the student would put in that effort. Fundamentally, what I look at it is that every professor would want his student, all his students, to get maybe above 90%, although which is not maybe practically possible. But maybe if he uses technology, he can enhance even the lowermost student in class to a higher level. Another is by analytics. See, often how do we come to know that a student is not doing so well in classes? Maybe when we take the test, maybe based on the response of his class, but the next time that we really come to know is the first test he doesn't score well, the second test he again doesn't score well, so he's not doing well. But at no time are we able to go back and see, has he read what I have told him to read? So this is what we would try and help you to do is, see, has he accessed that material? If he has not accessed that material and he's still not doing well, then he really needs to be counseled. Or otherwise, maybe he's not able to understand what I'm trying to teach. So that is where we are looking at combining and fusing technology with education. So I will not go to the advantages of teacher and student. I think we've spoken a lot. For the IT team, what is the advantage? So the IT team, the advantage is that the onboarding is so simple that we think even for a huge university, even one or two IT, the regular IT person can handle the complete thing because it is running on the cloud. On backend, a Microsoft cloud, 99.99% availability. It gives a complete functionality with Microsoft at the backend, which gives a lot of assurances in terms of quality and availability of the complete system. For the management, the advantage it gives is it gives you a lot of data, which helps you analyze how the pedagogy is going ahead, how to track the performances as such in a generic high-level manner for the students, for the class, for a particular teacher, how his classes are doing, and in addition to that, maybe have a technology thing which doesn't maybe cost so much, which is available at with very less IT resources required for you, and is enhances your pedagogy overall. So what is bundled in this? What is bundled in this is Office 365 is bundled with this. Develop as a software. Microsoft Link is bundled with this as a communication collaboration platform. A hassle-free five-step onboarding tool. So maybe even a big college could be got on board in a matter of a few hours. And a web-based admin dashboard for the IT manager where he can manage the complete whatever is going on the developed platform. And easy to use desktop utilities with which teachers and the IT admin can actually interact with the system. So with that as a background, I'll just show you a quick demo of Envelope. I have just So let's just told me I have to finish it off. So just take 5 quick minutes, just show you a small demonstration. So this is the main dashboard, and if you look at it, this is logged in as an educator. The moment the educator comes in, so he straight away gets these graphics available to him. So he comes to know, okay, these are the assignments and tests that have been assigned, and how many have completed, how many have not completed, and what is pending. The whole screen moves left to right, like the Windows 8.1 UI, and So there is, so he gets his schedule, the timetable completely out here. In addition to that, he is able to interact with the complete environment, the students and other teachers using Microsoft Teams. So latest contact list is appearing here. The notice board, all the notices that are being given to the students can come on this, and the students can get SMSs as well as emails on that. And along with that, he gets the complete OneDrive facility where all the documents are getting stored. And after that comes the content store where the content is available. So that is how the complete thing goes. And after that, once you start drilling down onto say each one of these screens, so one can get complete access for the teacher and the student to be able to sort of interact and collaborate with each other for the teaching process. So I've finished here, gentlemen. So I've finished. I've just kept it short because the organizers have been saying that it is time for the next speaker to speak. So are there any queries on this as well?
What is the backend?
Yeah. So backend is Microsoft. Firstly, backend is Microsoft SharePoint. In addition, the Azure Cloud.
So are there multiple licensing which comes into the picture?
So yeah, for that I think we've got Vikas here who can give you the license.
One more minute. So Microsoft is giving all the 65 program completely free for the institution. That's how why we are using Microsoft platform here. All the students, faculty can use MS Office once you are onboarded with Microsoft Campus Agreement. Hence, each student will get 1 terabyte cloud storage space personally, and each faculty gets 1 terabyte, and as an institution will get 2 terabyte free. And every student to the faculty, including their personal desktops, they can download MS Office, all the licenses, upgrades free of cost. Once the campus is onto the sign up Microsoft Campus Agreement. That's how we have been put onto this. And another key advantage is that it's a single sign-on. That the pain point today into the cloud applications or the SaaS applications or the ERP applications is that to remember the passwords, logging in and monitoring it. With this platform, we can integrate in their ERP data can be integrated, and also the ERP single sign-on also can be integrated. And it also sits on your native desktop application like an Outlook. So easy to use. You can create a live lecture, you can create webinars, you can interact it, you can conduct polls, you can create blogs, you can assess them, you can do everything on it. That's how this tool is more useful and very easy to learn. And 3 hours we can onboard it once you are on this 65 entire platform. Thank you.
Does it work on Linux? Once we have a license from Microsoft.
Here is the only costing factor, so Linux. If you have to invest on your, it's not difficult, we can put it on us, but the only problem is that you have to host your own servers. So the infrastructure cost will be removed. Once you are getting it a complete free of cost platforms, we don't want you to waste money on it.
Actually, we put our students on Linux, that's the problem.
But even those logins can be created here. You can be put on it, can be integrated. Thank you, sir. Thanks for all.